Module 2, Applications, Critiques, and Contemporary Relevance of Marxism. 1. Marxism in Practice, From Theory to Reality. Marxism inspired revolutions and political systems across the world. The Russian Revolution of 1917, led by Lenin, was the first large-scale attempt to establish a Marxist state. This gave rise to the Soviet Union, which became a model for socialist states worldwide. Later revolutions in China, Cuba, and Vietnam adapted Marxist ideas to their local contexts. However, these practical experiments often deviated from Marx's original vision, leading to authoritarianism, centralized economies, and in some cases, severe human rights violations. Nevertheless, Marxism's influence on 20th-century politics was enormous, shaping the global order during the Cold War. 2. Marxism and the Cold War. The Cold War can be partly understood as a contest between liberal capitalism, led by the United States, and Marxist socialism, led by the Soviet Union. This ideological struggle manifested in proxy wars, arms races, and competing visions of development. While the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 was seen as a major defeat for Marxism, the doctrine has persisted in academic thought, grassroots movements, and alternative approaches to global politics. 3. Criticisms of Marxism. Marxism has faced many criticisms, both theoretical and practical. Some of the most significant critiques include determinism. Critics argue Marx's historical materialism is overly deterministic, leaving little room for human agency or cultural factors. Economic reductionism. By focusing on class and economics, Marxism may overlook identity, nationalism, religion, and other forces. Practical failures. Attempts to implement Marxism often led to authoritarian regimes, economic inefficiency, and repression. Utopianism. The vision of a classless, stateless society may be unrealistic. Nevertheless, defenders argue that these criticisms reflect distortions in practice rather than flaws in the theory itself. 4. Marxism in the contemporary world. Despite the decline of socialist states, Marxism remains highly relevant. It provides tools to analyze global capitalism, inequality, and crisis. For example, economic inequality. Rising inequality within and between countries echoes Marx's prediction of growing class polarization. Globalization. Marxist theories of imperialism and dependency help explain why some nations remain trapped in underdevelopment. Environmental crisis. Eco-Marxism highlights how capitalist production exploits not only labor but also the natural environment, leading to climate change. Social movements. Marxist ideas continue to inspire labor movements, anti-globalization campaigns, and calls for systemic reform. 5. Marxism and international relations today. In international relations, Marxism continues to provide insights into global issues. Trade wars and global inequality are often understood as manifestations of capitalist competition. The rise of multinational corporations illustrates how private capital can dominate global governance. The global financial crisis of 2008 and beyond renewed interest in Marx's critique of capitalism. Thus, Marxism remains a powerful lens for understanding contemporary international politics. 6. Reconciling criticism and relevance. The challenge for Marxism today is balancing its theoretical insights with recognition of past failures. Modern Marxist scholars often emphasize democratic socialism, reform, and critical analysis rather than revolutionary upheaval. The goal is to retain the analytical power of Marxism while avoiding the authoritarian pitfalls of the past. Conclusion of Module 2. We have now examined the applications, criticisms, and continuing relevance of Marxism. From revolutionary movements and Cold War geopolitics to critiques of its failures and its use in contemporary analysis, Marxism remains a living doctrine. It competes with liberalism, provides an alternative lens to understand society and international relations, and continues to inspire debate about justice, equality, and the future of humanity. This concludes our course on Marxism. We have explored its foundations in theory and history, its critique of capitalism and liberalism, its application in global politics, and its enduring relevance. Whether one agrees or disagrees with Marxism, it is impossible to study political thought or international relations without engaging deeply with its ideas. Thank you for joining this course.